the what is now the Eastern Railway System from Havda. So Howrah or Havda is on the right bank of Bhagirathi River, also known as Hooghly. So now I will start with explaining this part. So as you see here, this is the city of Kolkata. On the left or the western side is Howrah, on the right bank of Hooghly, and on the right side or the left bank of Hooghly was Sialda. I have an existing terminal here, Howrah, so I try to make the best use of my existing lines moving out of Howrah northward to this place called Bandel, and from Bandel I have an existing connection between the lines from Sialda and the lines from Howrah through this connection, Naihati and Bandel connection, the Jubilee Bridge. So this existing broad gauge line took me through Bardhaman, and from Bardhaman it went all the way up north, joining along the Ganga river to a place called Sakrigali Ghat. So SLJ is Sakrigali Ghat. So this is where the broad gauge line took a left or the westward turn to take us to the bridge. So this existing broad gauge, the mainline trains to Delhi, to Howrah, to Lahore, Amritsar, Peshawar, all these trains ran through this broad gauge line. They took a turn here and then they went through Bhagalpur, Patna. Now for us to go to Assam and North Bengal, we have to get down here. There was a slight reversal to go to Sakrigali Ghat. This Sakrigali Ghat, of course, the original line was laid through this alignment, which got abandoned because Ganga River breached its banks. So there was a new alignment that was laid here. Now I will be boarding a steamer from Sakrigali Ghat. I will be boarding it to a place called Manihari Ghat on the other side, the northern left bank of Ganga. And from Manihari Ghat, I have an existing meter gauge line that will take me through Katihar. So this is how Havda and the Kolkata area got connected to Katihar, and this is how the interchange happens. Any questions till this point? Anything on the chat window?
I have again enabled one more link on YouTube. So I have put that in the comments. If you want to watch through YouTube, you can do that as well there.
Okay.
It's not the previous URL, it's another new URL to have the continuity there on that. Later on, we will merge the two videos and put them together.
Aravind, the question is post-independence, by which year connectivity was restored between mainland India and Northeast?
This connectivity from Howrah to Katihar was an existing one. It was not laid as such after independence. The Assam Link Railway was the one that was laid after independence. The existing connection to Katihar was used as an extension to the Assam Link Railway for Kolkata to North Bengal and Assam connections.
No, I think the question is like you showed those black patches where it got cut. So when it got cut, the link to Assam was lost, I guess, from
yes, at 1947, yes.
So when was it restored?
In probably 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
These links that we saw here and the gauge conversions, they happened in a period of 4 or 5 years. Prior to the realignment in 1956, everything was well connected. Okay, so now we will. I said I will park Siliguri area for a moment, and we'll also discuss something more on the important place Parbatipur. So you may recall from our earlier discussion that the meter gauge trains had the A and B coupler alignment. So trains that are going towards Katihar side had their A alignment on the western side, and trains going to Guwahati side had their A alignment on the eastern side. So for trains to have seamless marshalling coupling, we'll have to ensure that they have a reversal somewhere, and that is where we saw that the trains used to reverse at Parbatipur. So any train from Katihar side going to Guwahati side will have to compulsorily reverse at Parbatipur. Post-independence, now I'll have to retain the same one level of reversals, right? So when I look at my Assam Link Railway, where I had my lines restored, I had one reversal at Barsoi, right? So if you see here, if I'm on a train coming from Katihar side, I'll be having one reversal at Barsoi. This should be enough. We had another reversal at Mal. If you look here, at Mal Junction, all trains coming from Katihar Siliguri side will have to go to Mal, take a reversal, and then go to Guwahati side. So these two reversals cancelled out each other. So what Indian Railways did at that point of time was, okay, we need to have odd number of reversals. So they brought in another reversal at Siliguri. So let us take a look at how it was done. So instead of trains going towards Darjeeling side, coming back to Siliguri side, and then going again, so that would mean 4 reversals, all the 4 mutually cancelling each other. They said we will eliminate these 2 reversals, bring in only 1, so we will have odd number of reversals. So the trains from Matigara, instead of going to Panchanai, will follow a newer alignment, and then they will come to a station that was newly built, Siliguri Junction. Earlier, it was only Siliguri town, that was the station that was here, and then there was a Siliguri road somewhere here. But then Siliguri Junction was established as part of Assam Link Railway to bring in this third reversal all along. Now, with 3 reversals, we did not have any issues in terms of alignment for trains coming from Varanasi, Katihar side and going to Guwahati side from west to east or from east to west. With limited infrastructure and with limited number of locos, pit lines, loop lines available, it was decided that it was a waste of time having 3 reversals. We need to eliminate 2 to retain only 1 reversal along. So it was decided to eliminate the reversals at Barsoi, Mal. What was done? We will see here. What was done at Barsoi? There was a correction that was done. A small link that was provided to eliminate a reversal. So trains need not reverse here and take this alignment. They can go along the straight line and then go to Kishanganj. So this way, Barsoi reversal was avoided. There was another small link that was expanded based on the traffic sometime at a later point. Mal Junction had an interesting one. Let us see how the reversal at Mal was eliminated. Initially, trains had to reverse here and take this alignment through a steeper gradient as well as with sharp curves. So what was done? There was a bulb that was built. So to avoid reversals, trains were allowed through this line. They will go outside Mal town. They will come in from the southern side. They will stop here at Mal Junction and then take the existing line towards Alipurduar. And later, a station called New Mal was built outside the Mal town, and trains were allowed to go bypassing Mal through New Mal Junction and take this alignment to Alipurduar. Now for trains coming in from southern side, from Chandrabandha side, instead of taking the sharp and narrow alignment here, a new bypass was built here at this point, and trains from Mal used to take this alignment, come to New Mal, and then take this alignment to Alipurduar. As always, this bulb got redundant, so it was abandoned. So any train from Siliguri will take this left diversion, go through New Mal, and then go to Alipurduar. Anything from Chandrabandha side will come here and then take New Mal and go all the way to Alipurduar. So this is how the reversal at Mal was eliminated over stages. In this junction, Mal Junction was abandoned and a new station called Mal Bazar was built here along the Changrabanda line on the way to New Mal. The reversal at Siliguri alone existed. So that means we will not have any issues in terms of the coupler arrangement while trains are going from Varanasi to Guwahati side. So the Assam Link Railway was made operational along with a few cosmetic changes here and there. Any questions at this stage, Brijlesh or Ashish, on the comments window?
There is no question on the chat window. There was one, DSP Anirudh has corrected that the connectivity was restored on 1950. The last answer that you gave, about 5 years. I think, so the answer is 2 years. And the exact date is January 26, 1950 was the day when the Assam rail link was open through and through.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. Now we will move on to the next stage where we had the broad gauge intrusion. So, what happened during the broad gauge period? What I call post 1956. There is a broad gauge. There is a steamer that we saw here between Amingam and Pandu. We also, if we recollect from our earlier discussion, there were only 2 steamer connections across Ganga and Brahmaputra that need to be bridged for us to have a through rail connection. So this steamer across Brahmaputra was bridged via Saraigat Bridge. Now this Saraigat Bridge took off just before Amingam. The line crossed Brahmaputra. It came along the Kamakhya river, Kamakhya town, and it went all the way to Guwahati. This was a middle gauge line. Even after this bridge was built, the branch line to Pandu still existed. There were some shuttle services, while the services to Amingam were disconnected and they were run as through service to Guwahati. So Brahmaputra is now linked, but then our only bridge across Ganga was in Bangladesh now, right? The Hardinge Bridge that we saw here. We did not have a bridge across Ganga for Bengal Assam rail connection. We had to cross the Ganga river at Sakrigali Ghat and Manihari Ghat. So what was done at a later stage? Now we will have to understand the concept of BAK loop, the Barharwa, Ahmadpur, Katwa loop. So BAK loop, which ran along the right bank of Bhagirathi Hooghly River and along the right bank of Ganga, and it joined at a place called Barharwa. So in order to make sure that the trunk line here from Bardhaman to Gaya was not overburdened, this loop was utilized. It was already there, it was utilized. And then there was a link across Ganga at a place called Faraka. Now, how this was built? There was a spur that was initially laid from Tilganga to Faraka Ghat, and from Faraka Ghat there was a ferry across Ganga. On the right bank was a place called Khejuria Ghat, and from Khejuria Ghat the line went all the way to Malda town, and from Malda town it was linked to Old Malda along the original Shialda Katihar connection. This line was converted into broad gauge, and then at a later stage the Faraka barrage was built and the railway line, through railway line, broad gauge line was linked. Now from Shialda I can now come all along to Malda. From Malda I initially took a middle gauge train and it went all the way to Duas and Assam. Then stage by stage these lines were converted to broad gauge, and to maintain the existing link without disturbing the existing link, I need to ensure that the broad gauge connectivity was done. So what was done was the line from Varanasi to Katihar was retained as such as a middle gauge line, and the broad gauge line was laid as a parallel line at Barsoi. So this was the broad gauge reversal avoiding link, even though it was not required, but then due to infrastructure issues, it was laid as a link. This is the BG connection. And then it was laid as a parallel line all the way through Kishanganj to this branch of point, Alobari. And we also should note that this area around the Naxalbari was troublesome. So the new broad gauge line was planned to avoid this area and also to provide a shorter connection to Jalpaiguri. So a new broad gauge line was laid from Alobari to Jalpaiguri here. We saw that the connection from Sialda to Parbatipur and Jalpaiguri was already broad gauge at that point, the original Darjeeling mail route. So this is BG. Now what I did was a new BG line was built from Jalpaiguri area, crossing over Damahani and all the way through Cooch Behar and Alipurdwar, and it joined the line here at Samukhala Road. This link is where we started having the station names being added a prefix called new. So we had New Jalpaiguri, and then New Cooch Behar, New Baneshwar, New Alipurdwar. So every station had the prefix new to indicate it is on the BG line. And then a parallel line was laid from Alipurdwar through Fakiragram to a place called Bongegaon. So from Bongegaon, a new line was laid through Jogikopa. This is the Narnarayan Setu, the Jogikopa bridge. And then the BG line went along the left bank, the southern side of Brahmaputra river, along the Meghalaya border, all the way to Kamakya and connected Guwahati. There were a couple of corrections that were done. The first one was at New Cooch Behar. The middle gauge line, in fact, went down the BG line. It went up to the Cooch Behar town. The new Cooch Behar station was outside Cooch Behar town. So a loop was built in middle gauge, so that the middle gauge trains can come all the way to New Cooch Behar, provide a connection, and then go back to Cooch Behar. This is a small correction that was done. And then there was a link that was given at Damahani, a Y link, Y leg. It is still station name is Y leg. It's here. The link was laid here to provide connection, BG connection for trains going towards Changrabanda. For the BG expansion, we see that there is a new line that was laid from New Changrabanda station all the way to Cooch Behar and through Cooch Behar to Golakganj. And from Golakganj, there is a new line that is coming up. It is partly laid from Gauripur all the way to Jogikopa. It is somewhere here that the construction has progressed. Once this is done, it will provide a full-fledged parallel line for the Duas line that we see here. It will be a full-fledged BG line through Jogikopa to Pandu and Guwahati. And then there was a small branch that was built here from Bagdogra to link Bagdogra line and Jalpaiguri. Over a course, the chronological sequence would be much more confusing, but overall, at this stage today, we have this line even converted to broad gauge. Only the Darjeeling line is narrow gauge. The Duas line is now fully broad gauge, picturesque broad gauge line. The Haldibari line is broad gauge, Changrabanda line is broad gauge. Then the Gitandaha line is also broad gauge. The Golakganj Fakiragram line is broad gauge, and all the entire line through Rangia Junction, this is also broad gauge. And the Guwahati to Tinsukia line is also broad gauge. All these middle gauge lines have been converted to BG. The NG lines are, to my knowledge, almost zero in this area as of now. All the greens are now reds. So this is where we are right now. post independence and post the BG connections. For a moment, I will leave the station names here and there. It is a bit congested, I know that, but then I'll leave this for a moment. And then I'll take it off to give you an idea of how all this panned out. So this is how it is. Almost all the lines are now BG. It is red in color.
Some comments, Aravind?
Yes, sir.
There is a small correction. BAK loop is Barharwa Azimganj Katwa loop. It was built in early 1900s by EIR. Raymond wants to know, tell us about
Ashish,
Premier MG.
Ashish, one second. I remember mentioning it as Barharwa, Ahmadpur and Katwa.
No, it is Azimganj. It is Azimganj.
Did I say Ahmadpur?
I think so.
Sorry, that was my mistake then. Yes, Barharwa Azimganj Katwa loop. Yes, okay. And it was an existing line. It was not just built after independence. It was one of the very old lines. Which was used to divert northbound trains to avoid congestion of the trunk line through Bardhaman.
Okay. Raymond wants to know about Premier MG trains to Assam, like the 80 mile or Varanasi Guwahati Express. You know that?
There was one Darjeeling mail to New Jalpaiguri. And then there was 1 and 2 80 mails, and then the Assam mail. So these were the 3 premium trains, named premium trains with faster connectivity to the region. There were also some expresses that were run. The Arunachal Express from Rangya all the way on the northern side of Brahmaputra River to Murkong Seller. There was also one BV Express, Barak Valley Express, all the way to Silchar. So those are out of scope as of for this session, so I have not covered them.
Okay. Also, how the transshipment points moved from Barauni to New Bongaigaon to Guwahati.
Oh yes. For the trains that are coming in from Varanasi side, Barauni Junction was the transshipment point. That is the switchover from BG to MG. All BG trains from Delhi side ended at Barauni, and then from Barauni we had MG trains all the way to Tinsukia. And then once this the line via Jalpaiguri and then New Alipurduar to New Bongaigaon was laid, the transshipment point switched from Barauni to New Bongaigaon. The reason it stopped here was it took some time for us to build the bridge across Brahmaputra. So it served as a stopgap arrangement. Trains ended up here at New Bongaigaon.
And then they moved, the transshipment point then moved to Guwahati.
Yes. Once this bridge was built, it was moved all the way to Guwahati. There was a parallel BG-MG line from Kamakhya side to Guwahati. It was a short distance.
Okay, there is a comment by Balasubramaniam Ganesan. MG line is still there between Bagdogra and Siliguri Junction. It is not used though.
Okay, thanks for the information. I guess it is abandoned now. Okay. This small arrangement that we saw here, the BG link that was laid to link New Jalpaiguri, probably that made this link between Bagdogra and Siliguri redundant.
Okay. Anubhav says that all but one MG in the area is converted to BG, except the one between Siliguri and Bagdogra. It was kept as a heritage by then RM in 2008. This is now kept as dual gauge line, BG with MG in middle. MG rail bus used to run here.
Okay, thanks Anubhav.
You may proceed now.
I guess we have reached a stage where we have covered all the lines and the connections. Similar to, on a later note, Ashish, similar to how the entire Assam link got snapped during partition, I think our session today got snapped in YouTube. So we had to split it into two. And I guess it brings us to a wrap. So any questions on any of the topics that we have discussed in the two sessions, feel free to, people on the Google Meet can probably unmute themselves and ask. Otherwise, we can call it a wrap, Ashish. And before we go there, I need to share a sincere note of thanks to DSP Anirudh, Ganesh Iyer, and then Abhijit Sen, Anubhav for sharing a lot of wealth of information on the history and then kindling the passion to read these lines in greater detail. Thanks a lot, guys.
Okay, I think we should have a similar webinar now by DSP Anirudh. He has tons of a wealth of information, and I request him to take it up maybe in the month of Jan or whenever he's comfortable with. But he should share the knowledge that he has with RFCA members in a structured manner. He can choose a topic, some historic railways of some part of the country, and we can all listen to him. Anyway, I will write to him off list, but let me also...
I've spoken to him, Ashish. He has also consented to do one. He is right now working on narrowing down some topics. He is planning to do something on abandoned railways, railway alignments, some significant ones, probably 3 or 4 as one session.
Very good. That will be really great. Let's be in touch with him.
Yeah.
Hi there. I have a info on NJP. It was basically constructed as a greenfield project in 1963 on the outskirts of Siliguri city, and was supposed to be initially named as New Siliguri, but as you can see, it is located in the Jalpaiguri district, and those days Jalpaiguri was the bigger town compared to what is exactly opposite right now. So it was named New Jalpaiguri, and it is well within the city of Siliguri as it is now. The stations of Jalpaiguri on the Haldibari branch line, what you see was BG at the time of the independence is the original station, and the New Jalpaiguri station is currently located at the city of Siliguri. Thanks for that.
Yeah, you can see that it is just outside Siliguri. This is New Jalpaiguri, whereas the actual Jalpaiguri is here, farther away. Thanks, Anubhav. Okay, so that is it from my side, Ashish. Yeah, the time lost that on the YouTube link snap, I think we have been able to manage it in the 1 hour planned time. It is 11:45.
Yes, it was quite enlightening, and thank you for the research and then getting us to know about something that many of us don't know. Maybe the members from Kolkata and that side, they may be aware, but good that you took us on this journey. So thank you guys, those who were patient enough to come back to Google Meet in spite of losing the link on YouTube. We'll try and see how we can not get into this problem next time. And thank you very much. Okay. So shall we close, Aravind?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.